Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the class. Today is a very auspicious Gaur Purnima, and I wish you all a very, very happy Gaur Purnima. I hope you are all engaged in services and engaged in chanting more and trying to please the Lord who has mercifully given us the path for liberation in this age. So we will sing a kirtan. It's very Sachisutastakam, a very famous kirtan which reminds us of various pastimes of Lord. It's given by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is one of the intimate associate of the Lord. So I'll go over that. If anybody has kartal, it'll be great if you can join in this, because I'll be moving the slides. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Navapuravaram Navapushpasaram Navabhavajaram Navalasyaparam. You can also sing along. Navahasyaparam Navahemavaram Pranamami Sachitagauravaram.
Navahasyaparam Navahemavaram Pranamami Sachitagauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram. Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram. Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Vahemayutam Nava Nitasucham Nava Veshakritam Nava Premarasam.
Navahemayutam Navanitasucham Navaveshakritam Navapremarasam.
Navadhavilasat Sudha Premamayam Pranamami Sachita Gauravaram.
Navadhavilasat Premamayam Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram. Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Hari Bhakti Param Hari Namadharam Parajapyakaram Hari Nama Param.
Hari Bhakti Param Hari Namadharam Parajapyakaram Hari Nama Param.
Nayane Satatam Pranayashudharam Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Nayane Satatam Pranayashudharam Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
Pranamami Sachisuta Gauravaram.
सततं जनता भवतापहरं परमार्धपरायण लोकगतिम्
तं जनता भवतापहरं
लोकगतिम्
नवलेहकरं जगतापहरं प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरम्
भलेहकरं जगतापहरं
जगतापहरं
प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरं प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरम्
प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
सचेसुतगौरवं
सचेसुतगौरवरम्
प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
सचेसुतगौरवरम्
सचेसुतगौरवरम्
निज भक्ति करम प्रिय चारु करम नतनर्तननागरा राजकुलम
निज भक्तिकरं
भक्तिकरं
प्रियचारुतरं
प्रियचारुतरं
नटनर्तननागरराजकुलं
राजकुलम्
कुल कामिनी मानसालास्य करम प्रणमामि सखी सुता गौरवरम
कामिनि
कामिनि
मानसलास्यकरं
मानसलास्यकरं
प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
प्रणमामि सखी सुता गौरवरम प्रणमामि सखी सुता गौरवरम
प्रणमामि सचीसुतगौरवरम्
गौरवरम्
प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
करतालवलं कलकण्ठरवं मृदुवाद्यसुवीणक्षय मधुरम्
तालबलं कलकण्ठरवं मृदुवाद्यसुनिनायं
मधुरम्
निजभक्तिगुणावृतनाट्यकरं प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरम्
निज
भक्ति
भक्ति
गुणामृतनाट्यकरं
गुणामृतनाट्यकरं
प्रणमामि सचीसुतगौरवरम्
गौरवरम्
प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरं प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरम्
नमामि सचीसुतगौरवरं प्रणमामि सचीसुतगौरवरम्
युगधर्मयुतं नन्दसुतं धरणीसुचित्रं भवभावोचितम्
धर्मयुतं
युगधर्मयुतं
पुनर्नन्दसुतं धरणी सुचित्रं भवभावोचितम्
तनुध्यानचितं निजवासयुतं प्रणमामि सचीसुतगौरवरम्
ध्यानचितं निजवासयुतं प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
सचीसुतसागौरवम्
गौरवरम् अरुणं नयनं चरणं वसनं वदने स्खलितं कथनामधरम्
अरुणं नयनं
नयनं चरणं वसनं वदने
वदने
स्मितं
स्खलितं
कथनामधुरम्
कथनामधरम् कुरुते सुरसं जगता जीवनं प्रणमामि सचीसुतगौरवरम्
ते
ते
सुरसं
सुरसं
जीवनं
जगदजीवनमामि
प्रणमामि
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
सचीसुतगौरवरम्
प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरं प्रणमामि सचीसुता गौरवरम्
नमामि
नमामि
सचीसुतगौरवरं प्रणमामि सचीसुतगौरवरम्
Yeah, maybe we can read the translation. I'll open another. Krishnamurli Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji. I think maybe you can zoom it. Probably I'm not able to read, or I can open my own tab here.
Yeah, is it?
1 second, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. His complexion is the hue of a fresh cream tinged with kumkum. He is the ever-fresh Cupid who shoots arrows of newly blossoming flowers. He bears newer and newer moods of emotional ecstasies. He is fond of performing novel dances. He makes ever new jokes that cause much laughter. His brilliant luster is like freshly cast gold. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
Yeah, Mataji, you want to read next?
You want me? Second one.
Second one.
Second one.
He's
He's
endowed
endowed.
with the ever fresh love of Godhead. His radiant luster is like the color of fresh butter. His fresh attire is arranged in ever new fashions. He relishes ever new mellows of love for Krishna. He shines in ninefold new ways while executing the ninefold processes of devotion. He is permeated with the most auspicious loving nature. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
Yeah.
He is absorbed in devotion to Sri Hari. He maintains the chanting of the names of Hari. While chanting, he counts the holy names on the fingers of his hands. He is addicted to the name of Hari. He always has tears of love welling in his eyes. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He's always removing the suffering of material existence for mankind. He is the goal of life for persons who are dedicated to their supreme interest. He inspires men to become like honeybees, eager for honey of Krishna Prema. He removes the burning fever of the material world. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He motivates pure devotion unto himself. He is most attractive to his beloved servitors. By his dramatic dancing, he exhibits the characteristics of the king of paramours. He causes the minds of beautiful young village women to dance. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He plays karatals as his throat emits sweet, melodious sounds, and the vibrant notes of the veena are softly played. He thus inspires the devotees to perform dramatic dancing that is infused with aspects of his devotional service. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sesi.
He is accompanied by the Sankirtana movement, which is the religious practice for the age of Kali. He is the son of Nand Maharaj. Come again. He is the extraordinary, brilliant ornament of the earth. His preaching mood is suitably adapted to the cycle of birth and death. His consciousness is fixed in meditation on his own form of Krishna. He is always accompanied by his transcendental abode. I bow to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
His eyes the soles of his feet, and his clothing are reddish like the color that heralds the rising sun. As he utters his own names, his voice falters. He awakens a sweet flavor to life throughout the universe. I bow down to Gauram, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Such a beautiful song. So, just open the. Recently, there was a beautiful lecture by Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. I took a lot of, I really liked that. So I thought, we can discuss the same thing on the occasion of, Gaur Purnima. So I have created a presentation for it. You all can see. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Okay. It enables us to discuss a lot of wonderful, merciful pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So this is a verse from Chaitanya Chandramrita, verse number 101 by Prabodhananda Saraswati. You can read the book, it's online. I can share the link as well. It's a very beautiful narration. I have read partly, not fully, especially interested in this verse, that chapter I read through. So there is this beautiful verse. So it describes various qualities of Lord. So you can see here how many kotis are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 kotis. So that's why this this chapter was, or this verse is titled 7 crores of Lord Chaitanya. So we'll read this. Saundarya kama koti sakala jana samhladane chandra kotir. You can all repeat after me if it is comfortable to you.
ये कामकोटि सकल जन संप्लावने चंद्रकोटिर्
Vatsalye matrukoti tridashat vitapitopi adbhutaudarya koti.
Salye
मातृकोटि
pitapitopyadbhutaudarya koti.
Koti
अद्भुतधार्य कोटि
Gambhirye Ambuda Kotir Madhuramani Sudhakshira Madhavika Kotir
Gambhiryam
महामोद कोटि
Madhuramani
मधुरामणि
Sudhakshira Madhavika Kotir Gauro Dvesha Gauro Deva Sajiyan Pranaya Rasapade Darshitascharya Koti Gauro Deva
Deva Sajiyan Pranaya Rasapade Darshitascharya Koti.
Yeah. So we'll go each koti one by one and understand in detail how Lord Chaitanya's characteristics are. So the first one is Saundarye Kamakoti. So Lord Chaitanya, as you all know, he is Suvarna Varna Hemango. He is molten gold complexioned personality. He is both. He's a combination of not only just Krishna. He's a combination of both Krishna and the Srimad Radharani. The ecstasy of Radharani is also visible in Krishna. If you just see the personality of Krishna, you will see, the characteristics of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in the personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have the merciful Radharani aspect as well. So in that way, if Lord Krishna was beautified by Vaijayantimala and Kaustuba jewel and peacock feather, Lord Chaitanya wouldn't wear any of that. He in fact has no hair, he's a sannyasi in his sannyasi robes, no garlands. But what is the beautiful thing in the body of Lord Chaitanya? So he's always chanting the holy name of Krishna and was going through various emotions. His body is always pulaka sharir. His body is always what do you call? Pulaka means what is the English word? Anybody remembers? Anyway, so
I think, Prabhu.
huh?
Ecstasy maybe.
Ecstasy is we can say Pulaka. He's always Pulaka Sharira. His body is always full of ecstasy. So just seeing that, devotees would go mad. Just by seeing him, they would all get the ecstasy. And Sweda, because he was dancing so much, his body is always filled with element, the Sweda, or the what is it? When you are tired, you get the body, water, right? So that one. So Sweda, and then Ashru. His water is oozing out of his eyes like syringes all the time. Whenever he chants the holy name, body, the eyes are oozing out water like syringes. And his body is always trembling, kampa. So in this way, his body is exhibiting all these ecstatic symptoms, which are the bodily decorations of Lord Chaitanya, even though he doesn't have any other decorations. So these are the decorations to which everyone is attracted, and everyone turned into a pure devotee just by glancing Lord Chaitanya, his ecstatic love for Lord Krishna. And he would always go through various transformations of body as he performs Sankirtana, right? So in this way, of course, Lord Krishna it is mentioned that Lord Krishna, actually, the decorations of body doesn't decorate him. He is the decoration of the bodily, any jewelry, right? So he's the jewel for the jewelry on the body. So similarly, nothing can really decorate the Supreme Lord, but for comparison and understanding, so his beauty is compared to 1 million cupids. So that is how those who witnessed would describe about his beauty. Of course, devotees who directly witnessed had that experience, from which they have written that. And even the devotees who are very exalted, like even Bhaktivinoda Thakur would write how he would witness Lord Chaitanya in his eye of the mind. So whoever witnessed, they would be very much relish the beauty of the Lord. So this is one important characteristics. He is millions of times more beautiful than the Cupid. Yeah. So the second one is, we all Sakala Jana Samhadane Chandra Koti. In general, we see sun is very scorching, but in the evening when moon comes, everyone becomes very, very happy, because especially as a child, we used to sit outside our home watching the moon when when moon is fully blossomed on a full moon day, especially. So moon is always considered one that gives a lot of pleasure. And when Lord Chaitanya, when people see Lord Chaitanya, people feel the same pleasure, but not just like a one moon. It's like millions of moons. Sakala Jana Samhladana Chandra Kotir. He is like 1 million times of a moon in terms of giving pleasure to the eye and pleasure to the devotees. So that is, and even in one verse it is said, what is the need of a moon when moon has all these, like you can see there are marks on the moon that would not make the moon completely glow beautifully. But what is the need for a moon with so many kalankas, when Lord Chaitanya is there, who has no kalanka? He is free of all such kalankas that a moon has. So in that way, devotees describe that Lord is million times more pleasure giving than that of a regular moon. So this one. The third one is, he is Vatsalye Matrukotis. So he is like he is a million times of mother's love. He gives such love which is equivalent to a million mothers' love. We all know in this material existence, mother's love is the closest form of true love. That's what we all understand. But the love of Lord Chaitanya is like million times of mother's love. now we can discuss some, pastimes around this. So anybody remembers any such pastimes where Lord Chaitanya would, show deep love for the devotees? So I have actually some pictures here. You can, if you want to relate to those pictures also, that's fine. You can. Okay, I'll start. So when Lord Chaitanya visited Kurmakshetra in South India, Srikakulam, so he met Kurma Brahmana there. And when, after the time when, when time came that he would leave the place, there was one Brahmana known as Vasudeva. He was, he was wishing to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But unfortunately, by the time he come to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by the time he reached, Kurma Brahmana's home, Lord Chaitanya already leaves the place, and he's already on the way to the next place. But as soon as the Vasudeva, he's also a leper. Means he has full body leprosy. So you can see the picture here, Vasudeva leper. When Vasudeva leper knows about this news that Lord Chaitanya already left, he weeps and feels dejected for his misfortune of not meeting Lord Chaitanya. At the time, Lord Chaitanya, being Paramatma in everyone's heart, immediately he understands that this person wants to meet me in person. And because he knows the devotion in the heart of Vasudeva the leper, he immediately turns back and walks towards, again, the Koram Paramana's home where Vasudeva leper is. And as soon as he sees Vasudeva, because he knows the quality of the devotee, he immediately embraces Vasudeva. And as soon as Lord Chaitanya embraces, Vasudeva's leprosy is completely gone. He becomes like a normal person. You can see the picture here, right? So he becomes very normal immediately. And Lord Chaitanya, being the Supreme Lord, he could have, just without touching leper's body, which is, oozing out pus, he could have just, done like, we all see that, right? Magic in the hand, some light will grow and immediately cure the disease. He could have done something like that. But he embraced the body of Vasudeva leper when he has leprosy, without any consideration of what the bodily features of Vasudeva are. So that is true mother's love. You can see how Lord is very loving to his devotee, extremely loving to his devotee. Another pastime, Sanatana Goswami, when he leaves the Muslim ruler, the jail of his king, and he's on the way, he contracts disease whereby he gets a lot of all over rash on his body, and sometimes it when there is pus oozing out of his body. In fact, he wanted to drown in Ganges and die, but somehow he reaches and meets Lord Chaitanya. At the time, Lord Chaitanya was very happy to meet him, but Sanatana Goswami would not want to touch Lord, but Lord immediately would come and hug him. And as soon as Lord touches the body, immediately all the disease on the body of Sanatana would immediately go away. So this is another pastime. Lord could have just cured without even touching, but he has always expressed this kind of love for his devotees. So it is mentioned, Lord's love is 1 million times of the love of an mother of the material world. Even we know how Haridas Thakur, when he was beaten in 24 marketplaces, because of his chanting, being a Muslim, during a later pastime, Lord would show how he has taken the beatings of Haridas Thakur. Because the beatings are so much, he would have died. But Haridas Thakur was saved by the mercy of the Lord. And Lord, during the Mahaprakash Lila, he shows how he has taken the beating on his back. He would show the marks of those beatings. When Haridas Thakur was beaten, those beatings were like a mother would take any problems of the child. Lord Chaitanya would take all those beatings on his own body, and he would show Haridas Thakur during Mahaprakash Leela all those marks of the beatings to show his love for his devotee. Even there is one pastime in Bhagavatam where this particular word comes where Lord shows his love millions of times more than one's own mother. So that was the Maharaj Dhruva's pastime. So when Maharaj Dhruva was in a fit of rage after being insulted by his stepmother, when he's about to leave, not leave, actually he first quickly take shelter of his mother, because that is how we always act. We always go to the shelter to which, where we find, solace immediately whenever we are disturbed. So Dhruva Maharaj was very much disturbed after being insulted by his stepmother, and he would reach his mother, Suniti. At the time, like a spiritual master, like a teacher, she becomes her Vardham Pradaksha Guru. She would instruct him, tell that whatever you want, you can only achieve by the mercy of Lord. In fact, I'm only an ordinary mother. Your true mother and father is the Supreme Lord, and his love for you is million times more than my own love. That was the verse. So there is evidence of Srimad, of this same verse in Srimad Bhagavatam as well. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam verse 4:8-22. Right. So this is the love of Lord for his devotee. So he loves all of us million times as much as a ordinary worldly mother would do. Yeah. Now the third koti. So the first koti is what? Anybody remembers?
His bodily transformations upon chanting.
So he's Lord's beauty is million times that of Cupid, million times of Cupid. Yeah. The second one is his mercy is as or his pleasure giving potency is almost million times of Chandra. Right? And the third one is his love for his devotees is million times of a worldly mother, or mother of this material existence. Yeah. So now the fourth one. Yeah. So Tridasha Vitapitopi Adbhutaudarya Koti. So Lord's benevolence. Audarya means benevolence. Adbhuta Audarya means extreme benevolence, right? Extreme compassion is million times of a Kalpavriksha tree. We know Kalpavriksha tree in this, Kalpavriksha trees exist in Swargaloka. And even, of course, Goloka also has many wish fulfilling trees. Kalpavriksha is known to give whatever you desire. You go under the tree and you pray for something and it will immediately give. So Lord's Audarya is not just a million times of a transcendental Kalpavriksha. So anybody remembers any such pastimes where Lord was extremely merciful?
Prabhuji, Putana.
Hmm?
Continue, Prabhu, sorry.
Jagai Mada, I said.
Yeah, Jagai Madai pastime was an amazing example. Yeah, even though Jagai Madai was, trying to punish Lord Nityananda, he completely took away all their sins and given them ecstatic love, the highest thing one can achieve in one's lifetime. Yeah. Any other?
Prabhuji, I'm remembering the pastime in Krishna Lila. So Putana came to kill Krishna. Rahobakiyam Stanakalakuta.
Yeah,
So in the
yeah, amazing example. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, that for that demon also Krishna gave a mother position in his abode. So who is more merciful than Krishna?
Who can be more merciful than the Supreme Lord? Yeah.
Yes.
Just because she expressed the desire to serve as a mother, even though her actual intentions are bad, because she has expressed that intention to be like a mother, she was given the position of nurse in the spiritual world. Yeah. Who can be more merciful than such a Lord? Yeah. Any other pastimes you can remember?
Prabhuji, I want to add one more thing, Prabhu.
Yes.
So not that pastime, in our lives also, we are like a completely rebellious kind of mentality, right, Prabhuji? That Krishna has been giving us so much, right? He is, without water can we live, without food can we live, without air can we live. He has been providing only in the indirectly. I mean, we can't see him, but that he's continuously providing life after life, even though we are not completely turning towards him. Right, Prabhu?
Very true.
So,
Even he's so kind, even to atheists, all these are still supplied. So that is the compassion, extreme compassion of the Lord.
so much love.
So another sweet pastime during Mahaprabhu time was once, there was ecstatic kirtan in Srivas Thakur, Srivas Angan. And devotees are extremely tired after a very, very long kirtan. And Lord would, after observing that every devotee was very, very tired, so Lord would go out the door of the home and then take a dry seed of mango, and he would right away, plant it, and immediately from there comes a beautiful mango tree. Maybe you would have seen when you went to Mayapur. So there would come a beautiful mango tree, and this mango tree doesn't have seed, doesn't have skin, it's just pure nectar. Touch everywhere, it's all just pure nectar. And he would personally, by his own hand, pluck those mangoes and give it to each one, each of the devotees. And each mango is so fulfilling, everybody would eat, can't even finish one mango. It was so fulfilling, so tasty, so nectarian. They were just in ecstasy. And they would just remember Lord's benevolence upon all of them. So that was one sweet pastime. That mango would, and the whole of the city, whole people of city would eat those mangoes all the seasons, because those mangoes would come all over the year. Yeah. So that is one thing we can remember about Lord Saudarya. And another thing we can remember is when Lord Chaitanya showed his full glory in the Mahaprakash Lila, when all the devotees would enthrone Lord on the platform of Vishnu, and perform Abhishek and various glorifications and sing kirtans. At the time, Lord would call each individual devotee and ask for ask them to desire anything they wish, and Lord would fulfill them. And in those pastimes, in that time, and Lord would reveal, for example, for Murari Gupta, Lord would reveal his form as, Ramachandra Parivar. So in that way, he would reveal the intimate pastime. For one devotee, he would reveal the form of Lord Narsingadev. So in that way, he would fulfill the desire, heart's desire to each devotee at the time, like a kalpa vriksha. So there are many such pastimes all through Chaitanya Charitamrita, where we hear how Lord would become extremely benevolent to his devotees. Gambhirye Ambudhi Kotir. So Gambhirye Ambudha Kotir means Lord is extremely Gambhira. Gambhira means what is English?
Gravity.
Highly grave. So while he is extremely compassionate, he is also extremely grave. Any pastimes you can remember in this regard, where Lord was also very grave?
Yes, written here, Prabhu, Kala Krishna Das episode. So when Lord went to South India, the devotees requested the Lord that somebody accompany him. The Lord actually first refused, that I don't want anyone, I want to go alone. But finally they convinced that at least you take somebody, and they send Kala Krishna Das with him. But then he gets distracted by Batadiris, right, Prabhu? Batadiris. So he associates with the wrong kind of people, especially with womenizers and so on. Yeah, and even after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calling, he wouldn't come, Kala Krishna Das, and so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to pull him by his hair, and bring him back, and he kind of keeps quiet through the journey, and then after the journey is done, he chastises and says, hereafter he can't, Kala Krishna Das cannot be with me. So and then many devotees pray to the Lord for mercy, and the Lord doesn't accept him at all. And finally there is some way of mercy he gives, where he's given some service to go to Mayapur and
Convey
convey the news to Sachi Mata and other devotees in Mayapur. So yeah.
Very good, very good. Yeah. So after Lord returns from South India Yatra, he was given the service to go back and convey to his parents and other, wonderful Vaishnavas in Mayapur about the, safe return of Lord Chaitanya. So in that way, they would, and at that time, Kala Krishna Das would receive blessings from all those devotees like Advaita Acharya, Sachi Mata. They all bless him. And that way he would. So even though Lord was Gambhira, very, very grave in the situation, but he would still become very, merciful to him by, letting him receive the blessings. Yeah. So any other pastime?
And one more thing, Prabhu. So I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not give darshan to King Pratapudra in the beginning, right? After some time, he maintained that and gave eventually, even once. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was initially he would refuse him, saying, a king must be a worldly person, because he would deal with, money and, about, politics and, fights with other kingdoms. So he would not accept to meet him. But later on, through the mercy of devotees, Prataprudra gets the opportunity to serve Lord in a humble way, at which time, he would sing Gopi Gita and then, attract the heart of Lord Chaitanya and receive the blessing directly. Yeah, so that's a great pastime. Any other? Yeah. So initially he is very grave, but he's also very kind. He knows he's aware about Prataprudra, and at the right time he becomes very kind to him. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, any Chota Haridas Thakur. Anybody remembers the story? Chota Haridas Thakur. One time he prepares. No, he goes to get some rice from one of the devotees' home. At which time he apparently glances the women there in a wrongful way, and Lord Chaitanya would, being the Paramatma, would understand. He would take the prasadam, but later on tell to his devotees, I'm not seeing Chota Haridas Thakur anymore. But this is the most gravest of all. And every devotee, would be very sad because, he's very close associate of Lord. When Chota Haridas Thakur hears about this, he would not have any more taste for life. He would immediately jump in and die, commit suicide. But eventually he becomes a Gandharva and sings for Lord. So in that way he achieves perfection. So in that, because he doesn't want, because he's a sannyas and he want to maintain that seriousness, so that gambhiratva. Yeah. Another sweet pastime is not, it's a very grave pastime as well. So Gadadhar Pandit, when Lord Chaitanya visits Puri, Gadadhar Pandit and Lord Chaitanya would have wonderful exchanges, after which Gadadhara says, Gadadhara by the time is already a Kshetra sannyas, and he was serving Tota Gopinath every day, and he has taken Kshetra sannyas. Kshetra sannyas means he would stay permanently in one place and serve the deity there. So that was the vow of life that he has taken. But after spending some time with Mahaprabhu, he decides there is no point in, spending my time alone here. I want to go with you. Lord Chaitanya would, would not accept that offer, because by doing that, he would violate two things. One is the vow of being a Kshatriya sannyasa. Second is his vow of serving Tota Gopinath. Right? But Gadadhara would, he says, I'll follow you, whether you want me to follow you or not, I will follow you. And he goes till some time to some place. Lord would turn back and say, if you're going to continue with me, then no, I'll not accept you anymore. That's how grave Lord is to Gadadhar. And Gadadhar would fall flat on the ground, and Lord Chaitanya would not even look back and move forward. So he goes on that, and that so he crosses the river on a small steamer here. Yeah, so he's very grave as well. He's grave as much as 1,000,000 times of Ambudhi means ocean. Yeah. Madhuramani Sudha Kshira Madhvika Kotir. So this is talking about the sweet pastimes. Sudha, Kshira, Madhvika. These are sweet preparations. So these sweet preparations are very madhurya, means very tasteful. So Lord is also, very, very sweet in his pastimes, especially as a child. We all heard about many such beautiful pastimes of Lord. So anybody remembers some sweet pastimes of Lord? I have listed some here in pictures, but we can, you can all share anything that you remember as a, related to Lord's. You can describe the pastimes listed here as well.
One of the sweetest pastimes that's very kind of dear is when a Brahmana, I don't know if that's listed here, Prabhu, but when Brahmana visits Jagannath Mishra's house with Gopal deities,
Yes.
and he he requests that some boga be made for his Gopal deities. So Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata they make, and he gives it to the Brahmin, and he offers it, and then Chaitanya Lord Nimai as a baby, he'll go and eat it, um, and then when the Brahmin opens his eyes, he sees that Nimai has already eaten, and he's like so shocked. Oh, I wanted to offer to the Lord, but this child has eaten. And then he will again go make another preparation, and then again he'll offer to the Lord, and then again Nimai will come and eat it. Like that, this happens for
2 or 3
like
times.
I don't know how many times, and then finally the Brahmana decides, okay, today looks like I'm going to fast. It's not in my fate to have prasadam today. And then finally the Lord reveals to him that it's to only me you are offering all this time. So very, very sweet pastime.
Wonderful, very sweet pastime. Yes,
Yeah.
Lord also tells him that whenever I come to this world, even when I came as Lord Krishna, you were there in that episode as well.
Uh,
Yeah,
right,
it's a
yes.
very, very sweet pastime. Yeah, wonderful, bro. Thank you.
Right.
And by the ending was even sweet. Lord, when Lord reveals himself, because his favorite deity was Balgopal, and Lord would reveal that form of Balgopal, and this Brahmana, and Lord also tells him, do not reveal my, my
Hmm.
position to anybody in this world.
Correct.
They're not ready yet.
Yes.
So the Brahmana would hear that, and he would become so ecstatic, he would put all the rice all over his body. And he would look at Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra, and you're so fortunate. I can't tell you, but you're so fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Brahmana would not leave the city for a
Hmm.
time. He would be just there, silently
Hmm.
keeping the Lord in his mind of minds.
Hmm.
So such a sweet pastime.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all his lifetime, he would just stay there. Yeah. Any other pastime? There is one beautiful pastime here, right here. So one
Yeah.
time, yeah. You want to talk, Mataji?
No, I think the picture, one of the pictures is when some thieves, they try to kidnap him,
Yes.
and the way he powered them, they found themselves going in circles and coming back to his home again,
Yes.
until they got fed up, they got exhausted. They had to
Exactly.
let him go.
Yes.
Hare
So
Krishna.
Lord would, confuse them such that they will bring, the Lord directly to their home only, nowhere else. And they would immediately surrender themselves. Yeah. So this is another sweet pastime. One time, a large snake would come to the home of Lord Chaitanya in the veranda outside, and Lord Chaitanya would be just playing like a toy with the snake. He would just touch the head, sit on it. He would be playing with the snake like a toy snake, and everybody would come around and they would be just watching, because such a large snake, they never saw such a large snake, and this boy is sitting on it, playing with it. So they were all afraid watching it and seeing everybody. It's actually Balaram, or Anantasesha, in the form of a snake that comes that time to just see and witness Lord. Uh, so immediately he understands the situation and the fear of all the people, and he would just slither away again. And everybody was so afraid. Mother Sachi would hug him. So very special pastimes like that were done. So in this way, is each of these childhood pastimes, not only childhood, all through his lifetime, he has performed so many sweet pastimes that would put the devotees in anxiety sometimes, uh, but ultimately leads to great, pleasure. Just like millions of sweets like this Sudha, Kshira, Madhvika. These are the best preparations. Kshira, we all know, right? Sweet rice. It's offered to Lord. So he's like millions times sweeter than all of these sweet preparations. Madhuramani Sudakshira Madhvika Kotir. Yeah. And Gauro Deva Sajiyan Pranaya Rasa Pada Darshitas Charya Koti. This is the last. So Lord has performed so many ecstatic pastimes. So each of these pastimes, is like these pranaya rasapada darshitas, means the loving pastimes. All through his lifetime, he has performed so many sweet pastimes. These are like million times of any ordinary sweet pastimes of this world. So that is this verse, especially the pastimes of after he settles down in Puri, in Gambhira. So he would be in constant transcendental ecstasy. So one time it is mentioned that Lord would chant all through the night, every day. He does the same. And he would hit his head against the wall. Krishna, why don't you reveal to me like that? So he is always in that mood of separation from the Lord. And he would, by the, devotees would be there. Govinda is there, and even, Swarup Damodara would be there. They would always guard him. But he was always, changing his, he was expressing so many, symptoms of ecstasy. They would be like, totally, they are witnessing the pastimes which are never observed anywhere in this material existence. Yeah, because he's the Supreme Lord himself. Sometimes his body would, would become, all the limbs of the body would, go back into the body completely. He would become like a pumpkin. All of his body will become like a pumpkin. So one time the Gambhira had large walls because, it would not let him go out easily, jump out easily. One time, the devotees like Govinda would always hear Lord's presence by his continuous chanting of the holy name. Or, always chanting the names of Lord like that. Because one time they do not hear, Govinda would not hear. And immediately he would quickly run to search for Lord everywhere within Gambhira. He would not find anywhere. So immediately becomes full of anxiety and moroseness. And he would wake up Swarup Damodar, who was sleeping in the other room. And both of them would search out outside if Lord was anywhere. And they would find him in the cow shed along with the cows. The cows would be there, and Lord would become like a small pumpkin, like like a tortoise, the size of a tortoise. That is how much small he becomes. And the cows would be licking, and like all the cows would be licking Lord. He's like this much body, and so, and all the limbs would go in the body of Lord. So, and the devotees would come and witness this whole thing. And they would try to, take the Lord from the cows. The cows would not let him go because they are in so much ecstasy. They want to just lick the Lord. So in this way, these are extremely, transcendental pastimes, which we cannot understand, with material senses. So in this way, Lord performed wonderful pastimes all through his, existence, during the recent incarnation. So we can meditate on all these sweet pastimes of Lord. Any other pastimes you can remember about Lord's, being very ecstatic? Any other There is one pastime, another similar pastime. Anybody remembers? Where Lord's limbs would, elongate. One time he would be caught in a fisherman net. All
Yeah,
remember?
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So at that time, his body limbs would be completely loose. And the fisherman would catch him, and he, just by, touching the net, he becomes very ecstatic. He would be jumping in joy and, chanting the holy name. Right? So that is one pastime. So another pastime is Dukhi. You all hear about Dukhi? Dukhi's pastime? Yeah, Dukhi would be a small girl who would be bringing water from the well for performing Abhishek to the Lord. And when the pastime was over, Lord would become very merciful to her. And from that day, Lord says she will become Sukhi. And Dukhi immediately turns around and, chants the holy name in ecstasy, jumps high and, chants the holy name very, very loudly. So in this way, she becomes completely ecstatic by receiving the mercy of the Lord. So many such pastimes have happened, especially during travel of Lord Chaitanya during South India in the South India Yatra.
And
So
another pastime, Prabhu, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Puri to have darshan of Lord Jagannath, right? So he was so ecstatic that even the old woman who tries to climb him, he could not even notice that. Right?
Yes, yeah. So he would not, he would notice, but he would not even, step her away.
Super, yeah.
Yeah, he would carry that weight, and when the assistant of Lord would come and see, he immediately makes her come down. But Lord was very pleased with her devotion. See, she has such eagerness to witness the Lord.
Yeah.
I don't have that witness. I don't have that eagerness. So that's how Lord says. Of course, we all know how much eagerness Lord has.
Yeah.
Another pastime is when Lord visits the form of Vishnu in Alarnath. He would come running. He was in so much ecstasy. The body is so hard, and he could not, slow down his speed. And in that super high speed, he would just fall down on the floor in Alarnath temple, and the body's heat would melt the floor completely. And there is a full mark of that, his body, Lord's body in the Alarnath temple. So these are extremely transcendental pastimes which we cannot fathom. Yeah. So those are some of the pastimes of Lord. Yeah. So this is the translation. Yeah. Anybody can read it once.
All glories to Lord Gaura, who is more handsome than millions of cupids, more pleasing to the people than millions of moons, more affectionate than millions of mothers, more generous than millions of celestial desire trees, more profound than millions of oceans, sweeter than millions of Sudha, Kshira, and Madhvika nectars, and filled with the millions of wonderful sentiments of the nectar of pure love for Lord Krishna.
So wonderful. We heard about all of these pastimes now. So may Gaura become very, very merciful upon us. We're all extremely fortunate. Please realize that we are all extremely fortunate. First thing is we got human body. Second thing is we got connected to the path of the best path after, the best form of incarnation has happened. So there cannot be any comparison to our good fortune. So let us all pray to Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu that we take to this path very seriously and follow in the footsteps of our acharyas and our guru, and please him and achieve the highest perfection that is possible. Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah. Anything? Any discussion points
Yeah.
or anything that you liked? Want to share?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. This was amazing. To hear such nectarian pastimes and the qualities of the Lord on Gaura Purnima is very, very auspicious. So we really appreciate you taking the time. And I did not know about this Gaura, what is called Chandramrita, you said, Prabhu?
Chaitanya Chandramrita.
Chaitanya Chandramrita. I didn't know about this. So thank you for educating us about the 7 kotis of the Lord. So amazing, Prabhu. Very well.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So this is the, by the way, I read for the first time. I heard about this, but I haven't ever read. So Prabodhana Saraswati, I heard, he has composed the beautiful book. So I just shared the link in the Zoom chat. If you like to, just read some of it, like at least today, like if you have some time. So it's a beautiful, sweet pastimes of Lord. Do you see my screen? No, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is a link. I don't know if this is a full translation of it. Yeah, but this is a beautiful book. I really like this one. Very small chapters. Yeah. Thank you so much for attending on this auspicious day. I know many of devotees have messaged me privately that they could not join because of various services, but you all made your time in spite of being very busy in services. So we'll not take more time. We'll not we'll end the class here. Thank you all so much for joining today. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Happy Gaura Purnima, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
And you mentioned that this was from Prabodhananda Saraswati. He was the uncle of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And I remember that pastime when he went to Sri Rangam to see when he saw the deity of Ranganath. He went into transcendental ecstasy and he almost fainted. And Venkat Bhatta, who was the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, that time itself he knew that this was not an ordinary person. And at that time he transformed everybody who were followers of or they were the acharyas of yes, and he converted them to Gaudiya Parampara. So at that time, I remember that. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you
sharing.
for the wonderful discourse.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.